She showed up at the marriage bureau in her wedding dress, only to find her childhood sweetheart heartlessly holding another woman. He had promised to marry her if she came that day, but it was all a cruel joke. The rich girl hanging on his arm laughed at her, saying their promise was just a bet. Their friends circled her to take pictures and make fun of her like she was a clown, and her whole world fell apart. The man she had loved her entire life simply said he was sorry. The rich girl then threatened her, saying if she didn't pick someone else to marry right, then both she and her trash-collecting mother would vanish from the city. In a moment of panic, she turned to a total stranger. He was a man in a worker's uniform, on the phone complaining that another blind date fell through because he was poor. She walked up to him and asked if he would marry her, saying she didn't care that he had no money. As her ex-boyfriend laughed and said she was crazy for picking some random laborer, the stranger introduced himself and calmly said yes. They went right inside and got their marriage certificate. Later, she heard her ex-boyfriend confidently bragging to a friend. He was sure she would come back to him eventually. He planned to use the rich girl for her connections while keeping his first love as a secret girlfriend. Right then, her phone rang with an emergency call. She was told her mother had been framed for stealing a $50,000 necklace and was being held at the police station. She rushed to leave, but a red sports car slammed on its brakes, almost hitting her. The rich girl got out to mock her, and she realized it was all a setup. She found the boss who accused her mother, but he was in on the plot with her enemies. The rich girl laughed and admitted she had arranged the whole thing. Her ex-boyfriend just stood there silently as the boss made a gross offer to drop the charges if she spent the night with him. When she begged her ex for help, reminding him how her mother treated him like her own son, he refused to get involved. As the boss grabbed her arm, she fought back and said they wouldn't get away with this. Just then, a fancy car pulled up. The man she married, the supposed poor worker, stepped out. He wasn't in uniform anymore, but wearing an expensive suit. It was revealed he was the secret billionaire CEO of the Chin Group, and he had come to save his wife. As his rich ex-girlfriend drove away laughing, he found his former fiancée in the street. She yelled at him in anger, reminding him how her mother basically raised him after his dad died, often giving him food when she had none for herself. But when her mother needed help, he wouldn't even ask for it. He tried to explain himself, saying the world is tough and begging her to put up with it until he was successful. When he hinted she should sleep with the boss to save her mother, she slapped him hard. As he grabbed her, telling her not to be so stubborn, a hand forcefully shoved him away. It was her new husband. When her ex demanded to know who he was, the man calmly said he was her husband. The ex was shocked. She actually married the poor worker. He called her crazy and told her to get a divorce immediately. But she said no. He warned she would regret it when the boss filed charges, then he stormed off. Back at her apartment, she apologized to her husband for forgetting their plan to see her mother together. He calmly told her it was okay and made a phone call. He ordered the top legal team from the Chin Group to go to the police station and get his mother-in-law released. She was shocked, wondering how he could afford such powerful lawyers. At the police station, her mother was already safe and waiting. At home, her mother cried and thanked him, saying how the family lacked a man to protect them. The daughter then announced she had married him that day. Her confused mother started asking about his background and family, looking at his simple worker's uniform. When her mother asked about her new son-in-law's family, he modestly said his parents had steady jobs and he lived with his grandma. His wife added that his family wasn't rich, but her mother didn't care about a dowry, only her daughter's happiness. Seeing her mother cry, the man promised he would never let his wife suffer. After he left, he told his wife he had a house in the city and suggested they move in together. She agreed to join him after her mother got better, saying they should face life's problems as a team. As he walked away in the rain, she accepted his friend's request with a small smile. The moment was ruined when her ex-boyfriend showed up, demanding she divorce the laborer and come back to him. He was furious, swearing he never thought she would actually marry another man. Meanwhile, in his car, the husband looked at the accepted friend request. He told his assistant he wanted to wait before revealing he was a billionaire because he had met too many women who only wanted his money. The rich girl, angry her plan failed, met with the boss and came up with a new scheme. They decided to kidnap the wife and force her into a bad situation. Later that night, as the girl walked home, she was grabbed off the street. In the middle of a board meeting, the billionaire husband got a desperate call for help. He immediately ordered his assistant to find her. At the same time, the rich girl and the boss found the wife's phone and saw a call from husband. The rich girl laughed, thinking a poor worker couldn't possibly save her. She answered, and a man's voice demanded to know where his wife was. The rich girl laughed, threatening that by the time he found her, she would be pregnant with another man's child. The man on the phone then said he was Chin Shadong, CEO of the Chin Group. He warned that if they hurt a single hair on her head, he would make them regret ever being born. Her captors kept mocking her. They laughed because her husband had claimed to be the CEO of the Chin Group, the richest man in the city. They thought this was ridiculous. They only laughed harder, getting ready to attack her and take pictures. Just as her boss lunged at her, a line of luxury cars screeched to a stop outside. The doors flew open and her husband, The real billionaire CEO Fin Xiaodong rushed in with his men. The captors were stunned as his bodyguards easily took them down. He ran to his wife's side, covering her beaten body with his jacket. He picked her up in his arms, his face full of rage, and swore that anyone who dared to touch his woman was asking to die. The boss, still acting tough, tried to threaten them by saying he was connected to the powerful Lin family. The CEO's assistant told him he had just attacked the wife of Qin Xiaodong. The man's face turned white with fear when he realized the truth. Meanwhile, the mastermind Lin Weiwei got a call saying the plan had failed and the men were arrested. Not bothered, she immediately went to see another man, Cheng Jingyan. She twisted the whole story, claiming the boss was only confronting the woman about her mother's theft. But the woman had viciously framed them for assault out of jealousy. She manipulated him, suggesting the woman was acting out because her childhood sweetheart, was now with her. Believing every word, the angry man stormed off to confront the innocent woman. Her childhood sweetheart burst into the hospital room, yelling at her to drop the charges against his new girlfriend. Just moments after her billionaire husband had promised her that justice would be done for her kidnapping, the man she once loved stood there, completely fooled by the woman who planned the attack. He accused her of framing his new love out of jealousy and threatened to never marry her if she didn't immediately withdraw her police report. Her husband calmly stepped in, saying that Lin Weiwei was the real mastermind and the investigation would continue. The man defended his cruel girlfriend, calling her just proud but not a bad person, and accused his ex of going too far. This made the woman furious, and she confronted him for not defending her when her own mother was framed for theft. He coldly replied that the stolen necklace was found in her mother's bed and warned that upsetting the powerful Lin family would ruin them both. Her husband laughed, revealing he could crush the so-called powerful family, which he called a small business surviving on his company's leftovers. Her ex could only laugh, making fun of the man he thought was just a poor laborer for pretending to be part of high society. At that moment, the door opened again. The arrogant head of the Lin family stormed in with his daughter, the mastermind, by his side. The father threatened the woman, warning her that accusing his daughter was the last mistake she would ever make. His daughter then smirked, saying she had already bribed the kidnappers to deny she was involved, leaving the woman with no proof. Her husband simply said that the Lin family's turn would come soon. As they all laughed at him for pretending to be the CEO of the Qing Group, the Lin patriarch suddenly froze. He bragged about having met the real CEO many times and called this man a funny fake, but he started to have doubts. The husband then calmly said that 80% of the Lin family's money depended on the Qin Group, and he could bankrupt them with one phone call. Suddenly remembering, the patriarch recalled a business dinner where he had accidentally spilled wine on this same man, who was surrounded by the city's most important people. His daughter, still clueless, asked if he knew the man. He explained that 6 months ago, he went to a business party and saw the real CEO of the Qin Group, Qin Xiaodong, the man he now recognized. Still in denial, his daughter and her brainwashed lover laughed at the CEO, calling him a poor loser trying to act like the powerful billionaire. The ex-boyfriend then demanded the woman get on her knees and apologized to his new love, threatening to run her, her mother, and her new husband out of town. But the woman stood her ground, saying she had done nothing wrong and would never apologize. Her husband stepped forward, calmly promising that the Lin family would be the first to disappear. The patriarch laughed, bragging that crushing them would be as easy as stepping on an ant. Just then, the CEO's assistant arrived, and the patriarch instantly recognized him as Qin Xiaodong's driver. His daughter gloated, sure this proved her rival's husband was a fake. The patriarch then gave the woman an ultimatum. She had 3 days to drop the charges and publicly apologize to his daughter, or he would destroy her and her whole family. Not scared, the woman accepted his challenge. Later, she apologized to her husband for dragging him into the mess with a powerful Lin family. He took her hand and assured her that as husband and wife, they would face it together, adding that it was the Lin family who should be afraid. His assistant confirmed that the Lin family's business completely depended on the Qin Group and would fall apart without their support. But the woman still couldn't believe it, saying that as ordinary people, they could never even dream of meeting the real CEO. Her husband's assistant, frustrated, tried to tell her the truth, but the CEO just looked at her with a knowing smile. A woman was thrown to the ground as her neighbors violently surrounded her, throwing vegetables and calling her a thief. They publicly accused her of stealing 3,000 yuan and screamed that her daughter had framed a hotel owner for kidnapping and assault. Desperate, the mother turned to her own sister and nephew for help, believing they knew her best. But in a shocking betrayal, they refused to defend her, simply saying that stealing was wrong. The neighbors demanded she and her thieving daughter leave the neighborhood and never come back. Heartbroken, her mother called them heartless monsters. She screamed that it was no wonder Nguyen would rather marry a stranger than her own cousin. Just then, the Maybach pulled up, stunning everyone. But her cousin Cheng Jia just laughed, mocking Nguyen for renting a fancy car to show off. A second later, he recognized the license plate and realized it was the personal car of Qin Xiaodong, the CEO of the Qin Group. Instead of figuring it out, he accused Nuanmon's husband of being a lowly driver misusing the company car. As Nuanmon faced the crowd, her aunt delivered a final, cruel blow. She shouted that her mother was a failure who couldn't even have a son. That was when her husband stepped in, coolly demanding they show proof of the theft, which led to the public fight. As the fight was broken up, her cousin made a final threat. He revealed his company was about to sign a bid deal with the Chin Group. He promised that the next day he would personally report the driver to CEO Chin Shadong and get him fired.